Hey, what's up? My name is Ira Cross, and this is First Mic, where we talk to comics about their first time on stage. Today, we got Alex Maluchnik. It's cold as shit out here.
No.
So, anyways, dude, thank you for being on. We appreciate
thank
you
you for
being.
having me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, this is a good time. But the first question I ask everybody, got to ask you, what got you into comedy? What made you fall in love with comedy?
So from a really, really early age, my grandfather was just like force feeding me like old SNL and some like older stand-up stuff. And I mean, I'm talking like 4 years old, and he is watching like John Belushi, like best of SNL stuff.
Yo.
And just kind of fell in love with just comedy in general through that.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, like with like the birth of like Comedy Central Presents stuff, being able to watch that stuff all the time, really just made me enjoy it. And that was one of the things that my dad and I would bond over when I was younger too, was he would put on, like, he had XM radio in his car. And so he would always have on like the comedy channels, and my mom would hate it because he would always, like, if she was in the car, he would play like the easy family friendly stuff.
Yeah.
And then the second she would get out of the car, he'd put on like raw dog comedy. And then it's just like everything that he was like, don't say any of this stuff in front of your mom. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I know that I'm not gonna like blow up your spot over it. But then like he would forget to like change the station before we got out of the car. And then like we'd get back from hockey practice or something. And then like all of us would get in the car, and like we'd get in the car, and it's just like Patrice O'Neill just being like, and then my dick was out.
And your mom is like,
My mom is like a very nice, like very Catholic woman, and a school teacher. So like it's, I mean, she swears like a sailor, but it's like the second that somebody's making a joke about something, that all of a sudden she's like, well, you can't do that.
love that.
And so, yeah, so she loves my comedy because it's very family friendly.
clean.
I only work clean.
Yeah, only.
I've
Never
never
seen you
once.
dirty.
I've never sworn. If we could cut that out, that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll turn it into like a rubber ducky sound or something.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be perfect. But no, it was so from
That's
there.
not happening.
Brandon.
I respect it. No, so like one of my favorite Comedy Central Presents though was a guy named Mike Kaplan. Out of, I think he's in New York.
I think so. Yeah.
But when his Comedy Central Presents came out, that was like one of the first people that I saw. I probably watched that, no lie, 30 times. I've had the opportunity to work with him now. I've opened for him twice now.
Yep.
It's truly like that's one of those like full circle moments for me that like I was like, oh wow, this is so cool. But to go from that to then, that was probably, I think that came out when I was 14. I'm 31 now, and
Dang, yeah.
yeah. So it was. So like when that came out, like I said, I watched it a million times. I didn't try comedy until I was 18.
Okay.
I did it one time, and then I didn't touch it again for 10 years because it went so poorly. And it like the joke that I led with was really messed up, and like I still think it's funny, but like it's definitely not funny. It was in Orlando, Florida. My friend Hannibal was already starting. We did theater together in my senior year of high school. And so he's like, "Come on, man." He's like, "You're very funny. You should just come out, try this." He's like, "Write some jokes, and we'll go out. We'll try this." And I was like, "All right." I had no idea what a tight five was. I had no idea what a time limit would have been for. And this was a general open mic that we did.
Yeah.
At this place, I can't remember the name of it. It doesn't matter. It's
In
closed
Orlando?
anyway. Yeah, but it was a vegan cafe doing a general open mic in their garden out front. So like
Great setup.
So there's like 40 people on this list. My friend Hannibal Callens, great, based out of Phoenix now.
Yeah.
He goes up like halfway through, and then just kind of bullies me into going. So it was funny. It was the other person, huge comedian out of Florida. There's no way that he would remember me, but Preacher Lawson was also there.
Oh, wow.
He had just moved to LA and was back visiting.
Okay.
And so I got to meet him. That was really cool. And then like Hannibal and Preacher were both like, okay, so you're going up now? And I was like,
yeah.
I was like, yeah. I think I'm like in like 2 people or whatever. So this girl goes up and she does this like heartbreaking poem about like a lot of like horrible things have happened to her and like within her own family, and now she has like a severe drug addiction. And
damn.
So like the whole garden is just like really like touched, and like they're like, damn, that was really painful. And then so my first move is they bring me up and I grab the microphone and I was like, hey, we told you we're sorry about all that.
Oh, dude. Oh my God.
Which every time I've told that story, people who are comedians are reacting like you are.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the worst thing I could have said.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I never, like, I started off my comedy career with booze.
Yeah.
And then I had another 9 minutes and 45 seconds that I had to, so it wasn't even 5 minutes. I had to I wrote maybe 3 minutes worth of material that took me 45 seconds to get through.
Yeah.
And then just like blank staring at everybody. And like, thank God I didn't know what crowd work was at the time, because that would have just gone even worse. Which, like, you should never do crowd work at an open mic, but
especially not your first one.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like, I'm jumping all over the place, but yeah.
Good,
so
man.
that went so horribly. I think I got off the stage after like 4 minutes of just like trying to figure out anything that was funny, but
Fair.
of course just like telling stories of like a weird theater kid, and nobody thought that stuff was funny either.
No.
So I was just like, all right, I'm done. And then my friend was like, oh, you're way funnier than that. What did you do? And I was like,
You're way funnier than that. What did you do? Yeah.
I was like, that's fair. That is very.
Yeah.
And then we went to another open mic that night that was actually a comedy open mic. And then he's like, come on, man, you got to try it again. And I was like, absolutely not. No, this is not for me. And then so the story of the second first time I did it, though, was pretty good too, because so I was on so I'd moved to Columbus. 10 years later, I have some big life changes, and so I wound up quitting my job.
Okay.
And I'm on a date shortly after that. I don't really lead with like, hey, I don't have a job right now.
Yeah,
but,
no, that's fair.
Yeah.
Snorts in the background of laughter. I love it.
Yeah. So we meet up at this place. We meet on like a dating app or whatever, and so we go to this bar. I'm not really feeling her. I don't really think she's feeling me. So I was just like, I'm gonna go over to this place where they're having a comedy. I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm a fan of comedy.
Right.
And then so we get there, we're watching it, and like it's horrible. Like it's
an open mic.
It's an open mic, but and then that's kind of what gave me the courage to try again, like exactly in that moment.
Yeah.
Because I've had a couple beers at this point, and but I'd never stopped writing.
Okay.
So for that 10 years, I wanted to keep going, but I was just too much of a pussy to
Sure.
go back up there.
Yeah.
And but then I saw like 12 people in a row bomb. Like it's like nuclear level bombing. And I was like, well, fuck, I can do that. Like,
yeah,
for sure. So I'm like blowing up my roommate, and I'm like, hey, there's this blue book in my nightstand. I need you to go in there. I need you to take pictures of like the first 3 pages and send them to me right now. And he's like, why is this like super important? I think he had a girl over. I think that's why he was like, it doesn't need to happen right now. And I was like, it needs to happen in the next 7 minutes, otherwise I'm never going to follow my dreams.
Word.
Yo. And then so like he sends it to me, and then so I actually wind up doing like okay, like the story that I went with actually like did get some laughs, to the point that like when I got off stage, the host and it was actually as Danielle Slaughter, who she was actually just randomly at this open mic. But again, this is my first open mic in 10 years, really kind of what was like time 1.5 for me. And like she was like, that was actually really funny. How long have you been doing this? I was like, this is kind of my first time.
Right.
And she was like, well, then definitely keep going because you're funny.
Love
and
that.
that was kind of the push that I needed to keep going with it.
Right.
And I mean, now, you know, by the time this comes out, about 2.5 years in, you know, I mean, it's, you know, I went from doing that open mic to, you know, like I said, really pushing myself. I mean, I left a career that I was, I mean, I don't want to like say the dollar amount, but like I was getting paid very, very well. And anytime I've told like other comedians like what I was doing, they were like, and you left to do this? And I was like, yeah, and I've never been happier.
Exactly.
And,
yep.
But I mean, yeah, to go in that 2.5 year span from like just having one person say like you're funny, go for it, and then now I've performed at like the Laugh Factory. I've opened for some of like my comedy heroes. Like it's incredible.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
And to see some of the things that you've done, I'm right there with you applauding, dude. It's great.
I have to
Yeah.
ask, what was that other job? You don't have to say the dollar amount, but what was
yeah,
that
what
job?
were you doing?
So I worked in the car business for 10 years,
Okay.
and I wound up working my way up to actually managing a car dealership.
No shit.
And then just like one day, like I had enough of like working like 70, 80 hours a week.
Yep.
Dealing like nobody likes people in the car business at all. They always think that they're trying to like get you, which I mean, be a dick and I will, but but like that's like if people were cool, like I would follow the law.
Maybe.
Yeah. You know, but it's no, they're just like it got to me over time of just like how awful, you know, that was, and then I found something that I was actually like super passionate about and wanted to go for, and it, you know, I wouldn't recommend it really to do that for most people. I would say, you know, figure out, you know, if you're good at it or not before, you know, I had been paid exactly 0 times to do comedy before I just took the leap, and
It's a hell of a leap.
yeah, a long way down. Since then, I've had my car repossessed. I've been evicted from a place. Unless you're my landlord, then no, I haven't. But yeah, man, it's I don't know. I mean, what was the other one? It was what do you give recommendations for new comedians?
Yeah. So new comics or people who haven't, you know, who are thinking of getting on stage, who are in that 10-year space that you were in.
Yeah.
What advice would you give them?
Well, I would say, you know, first off, because I work at, you know, a comedy club,
Right.
and I have people that come up all the time, and they're like, how do I get started with this? I want to get up on that stage.
Yep.
And I'm like, you're not getting on that stage anytime soon.
No.
And I don't like to be like a gatekeeper or anything of it, because like I said, I'm only 2.5 years in at this point. But
Right.
you know, it's not something that you can just want to do and then one day, you know, you're on stage at a club. I mean, I've done comedy in places that smell more like a urinal than they do the beer that they serve. Like, it's horrible. It's soul crushing, and it's one of the most fun things that I've ever done in my entire life. I've met some of the coolest people that I've ever met doing this. But it is there's no right way to do it. But
Word.
the right way to do it is constantly be writing, constantly be trying to be better, constantly fighting for as much stage time as you can get. It doesn't matter if there's, you know, 4 people there or there's, you know, 150, 200 people there.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you can never go in, you know, thinking like, oh, this is going to suck. I hate this. Why am I doing this?
Right.
Because then you're going to get caught in this cycle of like, there's guys that have been doing this 10, 15 years that have never left the open mic and progressed into anything more. But I purely see that as like a negative attitude that people will carry with them.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's one of the biggest pet peeves that I have, especially with like newer open micers or just really even comedians in general that I see do this. And I really see it as like a divider between people that are wanting to do this as a hobby, which I'm not the biggest fan of, or the people that are like actually trying to go for something. I'm not saying like the most fame that you can have in the world with it, but you know, there is a happy medium with those two. But if you're, what was I saying? You can never, shit talk the room that you're in.
Okay.
And that is what I would say is the biggest piece of advice that I can give anybody that's doing comedy.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that I see comedians do that'll kill a room, doesn't matter the experience that they have, is to shit on the jokes, to shit on the comedians that the people have already seen, to shit on saying like, oh, you know, this is this is a Wednesday night. These are all shitty jokes told by shitty comedians.
Right.
Like, can't believe you guys are here. Like, that's to just blow people out when they might be having a really good time. And, you know, I mean, I've done rooms where, you know, I can see people laughing in the crowd. They might not be the loudest laughers in the world, but I can see that I can tell that they're having a good time.
Right.
And to not have that awareness that, like, hey, like you are actually doing something here. Like,
Exactly.
you are performing, you know. But, you know, even if there's 4 people there, at that point, make it seem like, you know, that room is like an exclusive club that they got to be in, that you know the others are missing out on.
For sure.
Don't say like, haha, fuck you guys. You guys are making a dumb decision by being here.
Right.
You guys could have done anything else in the world. Like, you're in Columbus, Ohio in December on a Wednesday.
Yes.
You know, there's, like I said, it's one of the things that, like, I noticed early on, and I'm even guilty of doing it early on, and then just kind of changed my way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
And just that, like, change in perception of what, like, I was doing and what I was after
Right.
has progressed me so much further than I'm honestly probably should have by this point in my career.
Yeah, fair.
And it's, but I mean, I've had a lot of crazy opportunities now just since changing that mental, like, framework that I had for it to go from, you know, like, this is stupid. Why are we all doing this? Like, of course, say that to your friends at the back of the room.
That's fine.
You know, like, see somebody bombing, and then you're just like, that's why we're doing it, man. Like, to see just a whole room just go, like, for somebody else that you don't respect is one of the best feelings in the world. But, like, don't be that person for other people, you know? Like, you don't want to be the reason that other comedians are laughing because of how bad you're doing. But it happens to everybody, and it is one of the things that makes this awesome. Like getting off stage and being like, wow, that sucked, and then laughing with your friends about it.
Yeah.
Definitely pays off, like, when you have just a killer set, and I mean, you get off. There's no drug like getting off stage after getting huge laughs.
Yeah.
It's, you know, to have, like, you know, the promoters for the show, or the guys that, you know, booked it, or, you know, other comedians that you respect to get off and say, like, because everybody will go like, oh, you know, it was a good set or whatever. Yeah, but, like, to have somebody be like, no, that was a really good set, dude. That was awesome. Like, that, like, the amount of ego that it gives you.
You're just feeling, you're like, can't nobody tell me shit today.
Yeah, no.
See what I did to that crowd?
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. Dude, thank you for that for sure. Before we finish off everything, where can everybody find you on social media, websites, anything like that?
So Instagram at Maluchnik. That's M as in Mary, A as in Apple, L as in Larry, U as in Umbrella, C as in Charlie, H as in Hotel, N as in Nancy, I as in Indigo, K as in Kilo. It's a motherfucker.
That was for Brandon.
Yeah. Facebook at Alex Maluchnik. I'm not really on any other platforms that I will.
Word.
I guess TikTok, Alex Maluchnik Comedy, but by the time this comes out, TikTok's probably gone anyway. So,
I know, right?
Yeah.
Or at the very least, it's going to be 60,000 posts underneath it.
Yeah, it's just TikTok by Oracle.
Word. Word.
What he's trying to say is he has an OnlyFans, but he's not going to promote it here.
You know, check the link in my Instagram bio. You guys can tell if that's still up, how well my comedy career is going.
Respect.
But, yeah.
Respect. Well, dude, thanks so much for
man.
sharing, telling us some dope stuff.
Yeah, thanks for having
sure. And thank you to Gavin. Hey. Thanks to Gavin at Rehab. Now, thank you so much for everybody at Rehab for letting us have this space and using this space and being our official, unofficial sponsor, which is always fun to have. Come to Rehab. Have a good time. There's shows. There's alcohol. That's the main highlight.
Hey, they didn't have alcohol last time I went to Rehab, so.
Word.
Step up.
So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And tune in next time on this wonderful show called First Mike. That's my white guy voice.
This wonderful show called First
Mike.
First Mike, brought to you by...
Hell no.
Yeah, man.
Yes. All right.